Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Speed of Grades. In previous class we talked about where clause and how to put conditions in SQL Server, how to implement that. We saw different operators in uh, SQL Server and how to put some of the conditions in SQL Server. So in today's class, we will talk about primary key and why we use that and what are the differences. And let's start our topic. So I'm talking about primary key. So what is primary key? As you know, in previous classes, we talked about unique. We talked about unique keyword. So what was the purpose of unique keyword? Unique keyword was to if we want a unique ID, or we do not want any duplicate IDs or any duplicate data in our database, so we use unique keyword. But we can put insert null value in unique keyword, and in primary key it works same, but there are many benefits of using primary key. We can insert, it allows you to insert unique data, which means no duplicate data, no duplicate data will be inserted here. And the other thing is you cannot insert null values. You cannot insert null values in primary key. So these are the basic things in primary key. But the other thing is that let's create a table here. For example, we are creating a table student, and we are giving student ID. And for example, we are making student ID as primary key. Okay, so I'm assigning the student ID as primary key. Okay, so here is the name of student. Okay, so for example, we have IDs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we have different names: Alex, Harry. So we have different names and we have a unique ID. If you insert here again 5, it will not be inserted because primary key is for unique data. You cannot insert a duplicate value in this. You have to insert a unique ID in this column. We are assigning ID only primary key. So you cannot insert a duplicate ID in this column, only in this column, because we have assigned the student ID as primary key, not the name. Okay, we are just here I have written the primary key. This is only for this column, student ID. Okay, so for example, we have another table, that is department. Okay, students department. Okay, student department. Now, for example, we have another primary key. Okay, we have another primary key, and we have column department ID. Okay, for example, we have 33, 34, and 44, and 45. So we have different departments like we have computer science, we have software engineering, we have BBA, we have MBA. So these are the different departments. So this table, this is one table, okay, and this is one table. These are two tables. One table we have departments and one table we have students. So how we will know that which of the students is in which department? For example, here Alex. So how we will know that which one of here is a department of Alex? Because this is a table and this is another table, so there is uh, not any relation between them. There is no, we cannot see any of the relation. We cannot see that any, we cannot recognize, we cannot see which one is which one's department. So for that we make a foreign key, another foreign key, and we make another table for student and department. Okay, for example, student and department table, okay, in which we will create a relations. Okay, we will assign that as foreign key, foreign key. So we will assign both of the IDs as foreign key, and we use this foreign key for the relations. We can create a relation of student department, like for example, this Alex is in the department CS. So we will create a relation of both of them. For example, Alex ID is 2. We'll first write the column student ID and department ID. Okay, we will write here the ID of Alex 2 and we will write Alex department as 33. So here you can see student ID is 2. It will go to the ID 2 and it will see that there is a data, there is Alex. Okay, first of all, it will check that if there exists a 2 ID or not. If there is not a 2 ID, then it will show error. But if it find the ID 2, so it will create a relation with the department. After that, it will check the department ID, if the department ID is present in the department table or not. So here you can see 33 ID is present. So it will create a relation of Alex with department computer science. Okay, here you can see student ID, we will write student ID, and department ID we can here create, for example, there Harry is in the department BBA. So what we'll do, we will write here ID of Harry and we will write the ID of BBA. The ID of BBA is 44. So it will create the relation of Harry with the department BBA. So for example, if we write here 6, we will write 45. Okay, so first of all, it will see that in the student table, if there is 6, then it will continue. If not, it will show the error. Here you can see we have created the relation of 6, ID number 6 with department ID 45. So here you can see there is not any ID 6. So it will show error and it will not create a relation of 6 with 45, because if there is not any student, so how we will if there isn't any student, so how will that student will be in any department. So there isn't any student at ID 6, so it will not create any relation and it will show the error that 6 ID does not exist. So you have to create a relation with the IDs that are present already in the both of the tables. So we use primary key and foreign key for the relations of two different tables. The main problem with unique keyword is that in that we can insert null values, and by using that we cannot create relations. Okay, we use primary key for the relations because in that we cannot insert null values. We cannot insert null values, and if null values are present in table, so it will consume a lot of space, and it will not be good. So for that we use this. If for example we have a whole table, if we create a this student and department table, we can combine them. So what is the main problem in this? Why I have treated these both of the tables? Although I can create one table in which I can write students and department combinedly. So we will not need this foreign key and primary key. But what is the main problem in that is that if we create a student and department table, for example, student, and we will write all the for example student ID, student name, and student department. So okay, one ID and name Alex, and department is computer science. So as you can see, it is very simple. So if there is another student and with Harry name, and it has not any department, so what will be done here? Here will be a null value. Okay, so we have another department BBA, but there is not any student in that. And if we have a name, for example we have name and there is not any idea of that, and there is not any department, so it will inside null values here. So it will consume a lot of spaces, and there will be a lot of problem in this. It is not important, but if we create a store and we'll write different products, okay, different products, and we will have write name of the products and ID of the products, and here we will write the customer's name and customers and we will write products price. So if here is written price, here is written product name, and here is written product ID, and here is the customer name. If we have one product and that is not bought by any of the customers, so it will pass a null value. So there will be a lot of spaces, so we do this. For that we create a different table with products, and we will create a customer's product, and we will make a relation of that. If any of the customer bought some of the product, we will write the name of that customer. For example, Alex bought. So we will create a relation of Alex ID. Alex ID is 1. We will create a relation and soap ID is 2. So it will not pass any of the null value. It will simply create the relations of the things that exist. Okay, so I hope it is clear to all of you. In the theory class, we will discuss that in further detail. So let's see how we can implement this in SQL Server. So let's move on to SQL Server. Okay, so connecting. Okay, so click on the new query. Click on the new query and create a database. Okay, create database with the name lecture 8. Okay, execute this command and refresh the database. So here in this you will see lecture 8. Here you can see lecture 8 is created. We will use lecture 8. Use lecture 8 database. Okay, use it. For example, we are creating a table. Create table student. We will write here. We will write same as we write in the previous class. We will just add a primary key like we added the unique keyword. So id int, and we will write here primary key. We cannot insert multiple primary keys in one table. We just have to insert only one primary key. And the basic difference between primary key and unique keyword is that we can insert null values in unique, but not in primary key. And we use primary key only once in a table, and we use unique multiple times in a table. Okay. For example, name of a student, varchar, we will write 100. Okay. Create table teacher id int primary key and name of teacher varchar as whatever you want. So we have created the table of student and created the table of teacher. We will create a table of department. For example, we write here student id, teacher id, and here we write department id, and here write department because duplicate. Okay, name of department. So the tables are created. Execute. Okay, now insert the record. We will insert the record in this, and we will create another table for student and teacher relation and student and department relation, because there are multiple teachers and one student can study from multiple teachers, and one teacher can teach multiple departments, multiple students, multiple subjects. So it will consume a lot of space because of null values. So we have to create a foreign relation so that the things that does not exist does not inserted in this. So we will insert all of the record in this, and we will write another table, and we will just uh, write a foreign key instead of primary key in that, and we will give reference in that foreign key of the original table. Okay, so let's create table create table student department. We will write another ID, student department ID, and foreign key. Okay, foreign key reference us, and what we will write? We will write the student, and we will write student ID. So here you can see we will write foreign key like this. We will assign a new ID, and we have to write the data type that is in the original table. We are making a relation of student and department. Okay, so in student department, both of them are integer and both of them have primary key. So after that we will write this thing, foreign key references, and after that you will write the department. Okay, oh sorry, after that you will write the table name that you are referring to. If I'm first I will refer to student ID. After that I will write for, you can write any of the name here, student ID. I have given here reference of student table. Okay, and now I will write here department ID. I will give a new name to this. Okay, in foreign references, and I will write department because we have created a table department here. We will write this here, and we will write here the ID here. This ID will write here. So in this, you can see we have created the relation of this student department table with student and department to different tables. They are two different tables. We are creating a relation of this student department table with department table and student table. In this we have first given a new ID, and in that we have given a reference of the student ID. Okay, after that by separated with comma we have created we have referenced another table. We have assigned new ID. Okay, after that we have created a relation of that with department here, department and department ID we have written here. So if you insert the record here, first of all let's insert the record in student table. Student, insert into student values. Okay, one. Okay. So here we have inserted the record in student table, and now insert record in department values, and values are 1 1. Department is CS, and another is 1 2, and the department is software engineering SE. Okay, let's first of all let's execute this. Now insert the record. Okay, so the record is inserted in student table and department table. Now we will insert the record in insert into student department. Like I said that we will write the relations of relations of both of them. Now we have written the record student. Now we do not know that Alex is in the department of SE or CS. So we will create a relation. We will here write down Alex and we will write the ID of his department. Okay. So Alex ID is 1 and Alex department is 1. Okay. So, and after that we will write, for example, Harry's ID is 1 and Harry's department is 1. Both of them are in CS. So we have created a relation of both of them. Now we know that Alex, we know that one ID has a relation with 1. Okay. Student ID 1 has a relation with department ID 1. So 1 means it will go to the student table and will see if there exists a 1. So there exists 1. Okay. So after that it will check the second value, that is our department ID. So it will see that if there exists a one department in department table, so it exists. So it will create a relation of Alex with CS. It will create a relation of 1 with 1. So let's insert the record. It will insert the record. But if you write here, if you write here 3, okay, here you can see there does not exist a 3 ID. So what will it will do? So here you can see the insert statement conflicted with foreign key constant column SID. So it says that the ID that you inserted is not present in the actual table, so you cannot create a relation of both of them. Okay, so you have to write 1 or 2 that are present in student table, and same for this, you just you will write 1 or 1 2 because there exist only 2 departments. So our record is already inserted that we inserted before. So let's back. Okay, so now let's select, now let's see the output. Select all from student, okay, now copy, paste this, paste department, student department. So let's execute 3 of them. Okay, so here you can see one table is, this table is student table, this one is department table, and we have created the third table and we have created the relation of both of them. In this we have ID of student table and in this we have ID of department. So it will go to one and see the data of student table, and will go to 11 ID and will see the data of that. Here you can see 1 is Alex and 11 is computer science. So Alex is in the department computer science. So this is how you can create different relations to save space for you can not insert null values in this. So it is a big benefit for everyone because it will not consume that much space, extra space. So this is how we can use foreign key and primary key. In the next class I will talk in a detail and I will create another tables and a big table with a lot of data, and we will create the relations of that table with different tables, and we will see that, and we will see the conditions, that in which conditions we cannot delete, update, and we can in which conditions we cannot do that in primary key and foreign key. So we will talk that about that in next tutorial. So I hope it is clear to all of you. If you have any question, you can comment down below, and if you have any assignment or queries, you can comment down below, or I have written my email in the description below, so you can check that out. So I will see you in the next tutorial. Thank you, and make sure to subscribe my channel, like my video, and share it with everyone else.